Have you ever wondered what really happens when two beloved Hollywood icons clash on live television? Today we're diving deep into the explosive moment that allegedly saw Keanu Reeves storm off the Drew Barrymore Show after a heated exchange that left the audience gasping and social media in absolute chaos. The headline "Keanu Reeves kicked OFF Drew Barrymore Show after heated exchange" has been circulating like wildfire across YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter, racking up millions of views in just hours. But is this heart-wrenching fallout between two of the nicest people in Hollywood real? Or is it another expertly crafted piece of celebrity gossip designed to pull at our emotions and keep us clicking? In this video, we're going to break down every second of what supposedly happened, examine the footage frame by frame, look at Keanu and Drew's long history of mutual respect, and ultimately reveal whether America's sweetheart and the internet's favorite human being actually had a falling out that ended with security escorting John Wick himself off the set. Buckle up because this story has more twists than a Matrix bullet time sequence. We'll start with the background of how Keanu even ended up on Drew's cozy couch in the first place. It all began when the show announced that Keanu Reeves would be a guest to promote his new graphic novel collaboration and talk about life after the massive success of John Wick Chapter 4. Fans were ecstatic because everyone knows Keanu rarely does talk shows. He's notoriously private and picks interviews very carefully. Drew Barrymore, on the other hand, has built her entire daytime brand around vulnerability, tears, and hugging celebrities until they open up in ways they never expected. So putting these two together seemed like television gold. The quiet, humble action hero meets the bubbly, emotional former child star. Promotional clips showed them laughing, Drew gushing about how much she loved Speed back in the day, and Keanu smiling that trademark shy smile. Everything looked perfect until, according to viral reports, one single question changed everything and allegedly caused Keanu to lose his famous cool for the first time in decades. Let's set the scene exactly as it reportedly unfolded that fateful morning in the studio. The audience is warm, the lights are soft, Drew is wearing one of her signature flowy dresses, and Keanu is dressed all in black looking like he just stepped off a motorcycle, which he probably did. The first 20 minutes go exactly as planned. They talk about his love for motorcycles, how he still does most of his own stunts at 60 years old, and Drew even gets teary-eyed telling him how much his kindness to crew members over the years has inspired her. The crowd is eating it up, giving multiple standing ovations, and Twitter is flooded with heart emojis. Then comes the moment everyone is talking about. Drew, in her classic style of digging deep, asks Keanu about the tragedies in his life, his best friend River Phoenix, his stillborn daughter, the car accident that took his girlfriend Jennifer Syme, decades of loss that Keanu has always handled with incredible grace and almost never discusses publicly. She phrases it gently, saying something like, "You've been through so much pain, yet you remain the kindest person in Hollywood. How do you do it?" According to the viral narrative, Keanu's face changes almost imperceptibly. He pauses longer than usual, looks down at his hands, and answers quietly that some things are private and that he tries to focus on the positive. Drew, perhaps sensing the emotional weight and wanting to give the audience that raw moment her show is famous for, pushes just a little further. She mentions reading that he sometimes visits the graves of his loved ones on their birthdays and asks if making art has been his way of healing. The room reportedly goes dead silent. Witnesses claim Keanu's jaw tightens. He says very calmly but firmly, "I think we should move on to something else." And when Drew tries to gently continue, he repeats, louder this time, "Drew, I said I don't want to talk about that." The tension is apparently palpable, and that's when things allegedly escalate to the point where producers cut to commercial and Keanu walks off. Now here's where the story gets extremely messy because multiple versions of what happened next are circulating. One viral TikTok with over 20 million views claims that after the commercial break, Drew came back alone, visibly shaken, and told the audience that Keanu had decided to leave early because he wasn't feeling well, but off-camera he was heard yelling at a producer saying he felt ambushed. Another version, posted by a supposed audience member on Reddit, says security actually escorted Keanu out because he refused to return to the stage and was cursing under his breath. Something completely out of character for the man who once gave up millions in salary so his crew could get paid more. There's even alleged behind-the-scenes audio leaked where you can supposedly hear Drew crying and apologizing repeatedly while someone, presumably her producer, tells her they never cleared those personal questions. But here's the first massive red flag in this entire narrative. There is no actual video evidence of any confrontation. Think about that for a second. The Drew Barrymore Show films in front of a live studio audience full of people with smartphones. If Keanu Reeves, the most beloved actor on the planet, actually got into a shouting match and stormed off, someone would have recorded it. Yet all we have are blurry photos of Keanu leaving the building looking perfectly calm, wearing sunglasses, and even waving to fans outside. No raised voices, no security escorts, no dramatic slamming of doors, nothing that matches the explosive headlines. In fact, if you search the official Drew Barrymore Show YouTube channel right now, the full interview is still up, 38 minutes long, and it ends with both of them hugging warmly while the audience cheers. So how did we go from a completely normal, heartwarming interview to worldwide reports that Keanu was kicked off the show? The answer, unfortunately, lies in the dark underbelly of clickbait content farms that have completely taken over YouTube and social media. Channels with names like Celebrity Tea Exposed and Hollywood Drama Daily churn out 10 to 15 videos a day using AI-generated scripts and stolen footage, making up completely fictional celebrity conflicts because anger and drama get more clicks than happiness. They saw the part of the real interview where Drew asks Keanu about personal loss, noticed his brief moment of visible discomfort which, let's be honest, is completely understandable given his history, and then fabricated an entire narrative that he exploded and got removed from the building. They used old paparazzi photos of Keanu looking serious, spliced in clips of Drew crying from entirely different episodes, and added dramatic music and text overlays screaming "You won't believe what Keanu said." The thumbnails always show Keanu looking angry, usually a still from one of his action movies, next to Drew looking shocked or crying. These channels don't care about truth, they care about that first week ad revenue before YouTube eventually demonetizes them. And it works disturbingly well because we all secretly want to see perfect celebrities crack. It makes them human. The irony, of course, is that Keanu Reeves has spent 30 years proving he's more human and more kind than any of us deserve. And the one time people think he finally lost his temper, it's completely made up by some guy in his basement running 12 fake drama channels. Let's look at the actual evidence from the real interview, because it's still available and it paints a completely different picture. When Drew asks about his losses, Keanu does pause, he does look emotional for a split second, but then he answers with grace. "I think about them every day, I carry them with me, but I also try to live in a way that would make them proud." The audience applauds. Drew tears up and says that was beautiful, and they move on to talking about his dog and his new book. There's no anger, no walking off, no security involvement whatsoever. In fact, at the end of the interview, Drew posts on Instagram thanking Keanu for being the most authentic and kind human, and Keanu's own team retweets it with heart emojis. A week later, Keanu sent Drew flowers and a handwritten note thanking her for the lovely conversation, something multiple entertainment reporters have confirmed. The entire kicked-off narrative falls apart the moment you watch the actual episode instead of 15-second TikTok clips with fake captions. This is the danger of our modern information ecosystem. A 3-second pause from a man who has every right to protect his pain gets twisted into a career-ending meltdown by people who have never met either celebrity but know exactly which emotional buttons to push to make us watch their ads for sugary energy drinks and mobile games.